Alright, so welcome to the next video. Now, I'm going to be talking about how to get your first SMMA clients. And when I say SMMA, I'm talking about social media marketing. So, this is rather Facebook advertising, this is just a short form content agency, anything where essentially you're helping clients get more customers or just increase the awareness of their brand, since there's many options out there in terms of how do you actually go out there and speak to people, because money is people, and in order to obtain money you've got to go out there and actually speak to your ideal clients that you want to serve, and essentially send them an invoice so they pay the invoice and then done. Now, just to give you a quick backstory, I've been running a social media marketing agency for the past 2 years now. I've been doing other things before that, but I've been a media buyer for over 6 years, but I've properly turned my media buying skill sets and turned that into an actual business for the past 2 years. So overall, I've generated over $2 million for my clients in revenue. So I have a good idea of what it is that I'm talking about. So there's many options out there to get clients. There's cold calling, cold emails, cold DMs. There is running paid advertising, Facebook, Google, YouTube. There's going to Facebook groups and trying to, again, create content and slide into people's DMs. There's starting your own YouTube channel, creating organic content like I'm essentially doing right now. So there's many options out there. And I'm going to briefly go through each and every single one so that you understand, sorry, why I am giving you this specific suggestion. So I'm going to give you the one suggestion that I would recommend. It's the easiest one, it's the simplest one, it's the one that doesn't require that much work. And believe me when I say this, in comparison to all the other methods, and it doesn't require that much of an investment. An investment is required, but I've invested in it and I've always made a return on my investment each and every single month that I've invested in it. So let's start off with all the cold outreach. So you have the cold calls, cold DMs, going to Facebook groups and trying to message to people, sliding into people's DMs. And one thing that I've learned is, because, like I said, I've been running this social media marketing agency for the past 2 years now, and for the first year, that's what I was doing: cold calling, cold DMs, and sliding into sending um trying to reach as many people as I can per day. And it's difficult. It's very difficult. It's a painful experience because you have to get rejected a lot. So you have to have a very good mentality in order to truly succeed in cold calling or cold DMs, because let's be honest, let's be realistic, you're going to have to call at least 100 businesses per day, whether that is cold calling or you're going to have to send a minimum of 100 cold emails per day. And the funny thing is, if you're doing cold calling, you're going to have to do 100 cold calls per day. And at least 98% to 99% of those cold calls, people are going to say no to you. And probably 20 to 30 or even 40% of those cold calls, you're not even going to reach the decision maker. So the actual owner or the person that can actually say yes to your offer. So that's why when you're doing cold calls, it can take weeks and months, especially if you don't have a team behind you to do these calls. So the other option would be, of course, sliding into people's DMs. So Instagram DMs, Facebook DMs, going to Facebook groups and trying to slide into the DMs of the members of the Facebook group. And again, you're going to have to do that at least 100 times per day, every single day. Now, it's not as painful, I would say, as doing cold calls, because you actually cold calls, you have to call people and you're interacting, and of course there's things that can go wrong. Whereas with sliding into people's DMs, again, you're gonna have to do this 100 times per day, every day, so consistency is required, and you're not really gonna see any results for a while. Now, they're sending cold emails, and again, I've had experience sending cold emails. And the thing is, though, you can't send 100 blank. plain emails. That's just not going to work nowadays, because if you look at your emails, how many emails do you receive from companies where you've just looked at the email, they've put absolutely no effort, it's just not, it's just nonchalant. Basically, it's like they don't even care. It's just the plain and simple offer that they're trying to sell you, and that doesn't really work. So, from my experience, what works with cold email is personalization. So, you have to actually go out there, research the businesses that you're trying to email, and find something about that business that you can use in the email. And then you've got to do that 100 times every single day. Because the reason why you want to do it every single day is for the purpose of consistency, so that you can build enough momentum that you'll get one, two. Because again, outreach is all a numbers game, it's all about volume. So the more people you reach, the more people that's going to respond to you, the more people that you're going to be able to hop on a sales call. That's what I would recommend. Take people from cold calling, cold emails, sliding into their DMs, have a sales call. Because especially if you're selling some sort of a service, a high ticket service, anything that's above $1,000, they're gonna want to speak to you, and especially if it's a retainer, like $1,000 a month, or if it's performance based, you know, a percentage of how much you earn them. So you definitely want to speak to them, and you definitely want to showcase that you are the right man or woman for the job. So that's why I would recommend those options. And of course, there is other options, but what I'm going to focus on is the one that I've really dialed in. Because again, the other options, very briefly, are Facebook ads, Google ads, and TikTok ads, Snapchat ads. So, Snapchat and TikTok, they're more for consumers, so I wouldn't really go towards there. And you have your Facebook, Google, and YouTube. Now, Facebook, you got to know what you're doing. So, Facebook is not really for, I wouldn't say it's not for a beginner. It's just you got to know what you're doing, because a lot of the time, the first one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 adverts that you create, it's not going to work. It's not going to get link clicks. It's not going to get leads. It's not going to get booking appointments. So there's all these different problems that you have to solve. Not just creating the ad, creating the creatives, creating the ad copy. You've also got to do the landing page. You've also got to do the emails, the text messages. You've got to do all of these different things that just requires a lot of time, effort, energy, and money. So that's why I would recommend for a beginner, for a newbie, to be doing some sort of paid media, because there's so many different blocks that's involved, and there's so many ways that it could go wrong. And if you're not fully equipped and you know how to solve the problem, then yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to my screen, and I'm going to share with you the platform that I use and the platform that I would recommend no matter what service that you are selling. And this doesn't just go for social media marketing agency, this goes for any service. Let me just reveal that to you now. All right. So this is the platform that I would recommend. It's basically Upwork. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say that Upwork is mainly for $3, well, hiring $3 virtual assistants. And yes, that is absolutely correct. But Upwork is a gold mine for signing seven, well, six, seven, eight figure companies. And there are people, freelancers on Upwork, that are making $10,000 per month, $50,000 per month, $100,000 per month. There are people on Upwork that are making 1 million, 2 million, and you don't make this kind of money earning $3 an hour. Like, let's be honest. So ultimately, you got to know what it is that you're doing on Upwork in order to find the right clients, write the right proposals for these clients, hop on a sales call with these clients, and of course, send them an invoice so that they pay you so that you can obviously start your service. But there are over, especially from a social media marketing perspective, there's over 14,000 jobs on Upwork of businesses. And when I say jobs, I mean there's 14,000 businesses on that go on Upwork posting a job where you can apply for to essentially give them a reason why they should pick you over all the other options. So now let me explain the reason why I pick Upwork in comparison to doing cold emails, in comparison to doing, paid advertising. And it's very, very simple. So, like I said before, with any sort of cold outreach, cold emails, cold callings, sliding into people's DMs, you've got to do it a minimum at least 100 times a day, every single day. Especially if you're doing cold emails and sliding into people's DMs, you've got to add a bit of personalization. So, you've got to go out there, research the company, and put something in the message, in the copy, in the email, or in the DM that you send them that shows that you actually, you've actually done your research, you've done a background check, and that is what's going to make you stand out. Whereas with Upwork, it's completely different because when I apply for Upwork jobs, I only do 12 proposals. So you have to work 10% less on Upwork than you will have to in comparison to doing cold emails and cold calling. So I only have to apply for 12 jobs a day, and I don't. I've got someone to do this for me. But when I was doing this by myself, I applied for 12 jobs a day, Monday to Friday. So I would take the weekends off. So that's 12 jobs a day, um, every day. That is Monday to Friday, of course, times by five, times by four. So that's 120 jobs that I would apply for. So at 10% less, well, less than 10%. So with cold calling, if you did 100 cold calls, times that by, let me get my calculator here so that you can, because obviously maths is not my strongest suit. So here's the calculator. Let's just wait. So if you did, for example, 100 cold calls, 100 DMs, times that by five, times that by four times, because there's 4 weeks in a month. So you have to do 2,000 cold calls, emails, sliding into people's DMs. Whereas with this strategy, you only do 12, you apply for 12 jobs, so 12 pieces of outreach times by five, which is just 60, times by four, which is 240. So that is 1,760 less outreach that you have to do in order to sign a client. And on average, I have to apply for a total of 120 jobs in order to get a client. So theoretically speaking, with 240 proposals, you should be able to sign two clients as a complete beginner that you don't really have a good idea of what you're doing. So let me give you the other reason why you should pick up work. So number one, you have to do way less outreach, as I've just shown you right there. And then number two is the return on your investment. So one of my very first clients, which was this client, and if you watch my previous video, I go over this client. So one of my very first clients was Micro Australia. So they were an e-commerce company in Australia selling baby player mats, and essentially I hopped on a sales call with this girl, and essentially I did the sales call. She was quite impressed because I knew what I was talking about, and then obviously we signed the contract, we signed the deal, and then of course she sent me a contract through Upwork, and then she paid, and just for proof, so that you know that I'm not lying to you. Let me just go to my profile. Sorry for the wait. It's just I don't think it's my internet connection. I think it's just this. But yeah, so this is the client over here. This is a video. This is Bianca. This is her right here, and this is her business. So if you search up um, Best Book Studio on Google, Best Book Studio. Let's just say Australia. Yep, this is her. And then, yeah, this is the client. This is Bianca. And then I'm sure if you go to our work, I'm sure Micro Australia will also be there. But anyway, you can do that in your spare time. So yeah, so this is one of the very first clients that I signed through using Upwork, and for some reason, it's taking its time to load. So so essentially, once it finally loads, damn, is I literally invested about £41. Here we are, finally. So back last year in March, this is when I signed the clients. So I basically, well, because obviously I signed two clients, so I spent £81. Well, £82. Well, let me go with the calculator. So 41 12 times by 2. So I spent £82 and 24 pence on something called Upwork Connects. And Upwork Connects allows you to go out there and apply for, the 12 jobs per day, Monday to Friday, as I was doing. So without the Connects, you can't apply for any job at all. So I bought the Connects in order to apply for these jobs, and then I spent £82 and 24 pence. I think it gave me like 1,000 or 1,500 Connects, something like that. And then I applied for a job Monday to Friday, 12 jobs per day, every single day, and then these were the results. So I signed two clients, so that's basically £82 and 24 pence divided by two, that's £41 and 12 pence. So that's how much it cost me to get this client. And then this client was roughly, she was paying me around about $500, 500 Australian dollars per month. So so let's just say 500 Australian dollars in pounds. So roughly around about £260 a month. But yeah, she was paying me 500 Australian dollars per month. And essentially she was a client for until March, and she finished off in August. So for about March, April, May, June, July, August. So for about 5 months, she was a client, and this is the magic. So what I realized is, oh my gosh, I just spent £41 and 12 pence to get a client, and then this client I spent £1,096 and 12 pence. And then I calculated the return, and that's over £1,000. Well, £1,055 return. That's a 26 times return on my investment. And I was like, damn, that is a good return. So then I got my next client. Again, I spent £58 and 50 pence on this one client alone because it's the only client that I got. And then this client, I generated £669 and 84 pence. And again, I was like, damn, that is a good return. And then, as you can see here, with almost every single client that I have acquired, I've generated a return. So that is the reason why I recommend using Upwork in order to get your clients, because you only have to do 12 proposals per day. And I have a template that I use. So it's not like cold emails where you have to personalize it. To be honest with you, I don't really even personalize my proposals. So you do 12 jobs per day, Monday to Friday. That's 240 proposals. So that's like 90% less work than cold emails, cold calling, and it's 95% less work than doing any sort of paid advertising, because you've got to do the advertising, you've got to create the landing pages, you've got to create the emails, and it's not just one skill, it's multiple skills stacked. Copywriting, you've got creative, you've got human psychology, you've got all these different skills that you need to learn and you need to be good at, not just average, but good at, in order to actually make paid advertising work. And I know because I've been doing it for the past 6 years. So that's what I would recommend. If you're on the fence, if you're looking for clients, use um, Upwork. Just put in the term. So if you're looking for social media clients, so just put social media marketing, once you create your account, and then once you go on, you'll notice there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of jobs on Upwork that you can apply for to sign clients. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube on how to actually sign, how to, create a proposal, send proposals, because obviously clients on Upwork will reply to you, then you've got to respond to them, etc. So yeah, it's basically frozen. So yeah, so I hope that helps. I hope that's definitely made a difference, and I hope that is beneficial. And if it is, just leave a comment down below. And of course, if you want help in your social media marketing journey, click down the link below, and you can book a call with me, and I can see what we can do in order to essentially take you from where you are, whether you're making 1k, 2k, 5k, 10k, to making 15, 20, 30, 40, 50k per month through the advertising method that you're using. So I specialize in Facebook advertising. So definitely, if you're interested, just book a call with me. And again, there's no obligation to buy anything. However, I don't do any free trials. So if you are expecting me to do a free trial, just don't waste your time, because I've got that many advertising clients that I know that I can get you results. So yeah, thank you for watching this video.